So for the first conics problem on the SLO review, it asks you to identify the conic section and then write it in its standard form. So if you look at this first, if we want to identify the conic section first, we really just look at the two squared terms. If the two squared terms are both positive and the numbers out in front of them are different, then that would make it an ellipse. But in this case, both you have a x squared term and a y squared term, and one of them is negative. So that's going to make this conic a hyperbola. So it's not going to really change much. Hyperbola. It's not really going to change much how we solve this the rest of the way, but it's good to know in case you were asked to graph it. Alright, so first and foremost, you're going to have to complete the square twice on this, and hopefully I have enough space to do this. But if you look at your x terms, you have to factor out whatever's in front of the squared term. So you're going to take out a 25, which you're left with x squared plus 2x plus, and then we're going to leave a space to complete the square. A lot of times people forget to divide that middle term, that 50x, by whatever you take out, so just be careful of that. Now we're going to do the same thing for the y terms. Just be careful, you're really taking out a negative 9. So when you do that, when you take out a negative 9, that's going to turn this negative 18y into a positive 2y. Alright, then on the other side, this 209 needs to be added over to the other side. So on the other side we have 209 plus 25 box minus 9 box from the two complete the square problems on the other side. Okay, and from here you guys are pretty good at filling in the rest of the stuff. You know that when you complete the square you take half of that middle term. So this would be a 1 squared. Gotta do the same thing on the other side. And this ends up being a 2 as well, so half of that is 1 squared over here. So what you have is 25 times x plus 1 squared minus 9 times y plus 1 squared is equal to, and then if you do 209 plus 25 times 1 squared minus 9 times 1 squared, you get 225. And then standard form means that it's supposed to be set equal to 1. So then we need this 225 to change into a 1. We do that by dividing everything by 225. And then you just need to reduce it. So when you look at this, 225, or 25 rather, over 225 is going to reduce to 1/9. So we don't really need to put the 1 there, so we'll just keep it as x plus 1 squared over 9. Minus, reduce this 9 over 225, which reduces to 1/25. So we have y plus 1 squared over 25 equal to 1. So there's the standard form of that hyperbola. If we wanted to go a little bit further, just talk about a few more things. The center of this hyperbola would be -1, -1. And this hyperbola, because the x is first, this hyperbola, when you graph it, would open left and right.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.